Hello everyone, welcome to Kalpa Kendra Tarot. The reading on the channel is coming after a while, but it is on an interesting topic inspired by one of the festivals that we celebrate in India and what we are currently celebrating at the time when I am doing this reading. It is inspired by Dhanteras. Now, this festival, you can Google, is associated with wealth and abundance, and that is what I wanted to do a reading on. I will resume the readings on future spouse, like the series that I was doing, which I had to pause because I got busy with so many other things, but they are like those things are taken care of, and I am going to be finishing that series and also be doing some interesting twin flame soulmate karmic readings, yes or no readings. So stay tuned if you want to like get tarot readings from me. If you have, if this is the first time that you're here, then stay around and see what all you like, if at all my channel or my reading resonates with you. But if you have already had readings from me and you would like to like get readings on interesting and weird topics like twin flame and other things that usually you do not find on YouTube, then maybe you would want to subscribe. Maybe subscribing is better then, right? But anyway, I would ask you to give me an opportunity to show you how I channel, and if at all I can give you some messages that deeply resonate with you. Right, so that is about it. I don't have to say anything else. So the reading that we are going to do today is on the topic what is going to set you on your highest timeline to achieving wealth and abundance. So what are the changes, or what aspects, if like in the reality, if you focus on, or what basically we are going to look at changes only. But I also want to know if there are certain messages which maybe I cannot comprehend at a mental level when I am thinking about the topic, but when I do the reading, maybe answers will come in a way that I am currently not conscious of. So I am thinking that more than changes are going to come through, but it is just a random intuitive guess. The fireworks that you hear are from Diwali celebrations that are happening across India. So I stay in a town or in a city called Kolkata. So and a lot is being done to make people aware of the side effects, consequences of celebrating festivals with fireworks. But then you can only do so much. There are people who would continue to do what they do and cause harm to the environment. There's little I can say about it because it hurts, but that's the reality and that's the sound that you would be hearing. So yeah, the topic, like what will set you on your highest timeline to achieving wealth and abundance, is something that I don't know what the answer to it is going to be. I am literally doing it with an open mind, whatever comes through. I think that more than changes are going to come through. I'm still not sure like what aspects are going to like reveal themselves when we do the reading. That is something we'll only see when we start the reading, right? So I have prepared three groups for you, and these are three diyas. In Bengali, these are called Prodeep, and it would just be like different kinds of candles for people who are not accustomed to diyas and Prodeep. So for the first group, we have green and red diya. For the second group, we have yellow and pink diya. And for the third group, we have blue and green diya. So these are your three options. Just close your eyes and meditate on the question for a while and see which diya you feel the most drawn to. Depending on that, you meet me at the click of your timestamp. Hello, Group 1. So, if you had selected this red and green diya, then welcome to your reading. I just focused it for you in case you wanted to see it, and why not? It's a beautiful diya anyway. I have not done a reading on this channel for quite some time. I feel like I've not, usually I speak in Hindi or Bengali, mostly Bengali, because that's the channel that has the highest number of audience. So I find myself doing more readings for that channel than the other channels, which is something I don't think I should be doing. But there I get so many requests, and usually all my private readings mostly come from that channel. So I find myself like catering to that audience more. But I find this so strange that I'm speaking in English when I'm doing a reading, because I've not done that for a while. So yeah, that being said, let's reveal your cards. Group 1, excellent choice of Diya. Right, so the first card that you have is card number 13, Soul Contracts. Before you were born, you agreed to partake in specific experiences that assist in the evolution of your soul. Okay, now these cards. Then you have Nine of Coins with size. Right. Then you have the Emperor with the Messenger. And then I wanted one card to come out, but then the universe knows what it is doing. And you have two cards, Ace of Coins, Knight of Swords, paired with the Servant. So what will set you on your highest timeline to achieve wealth and abundance? First of all, you have already made some soul contracts. You've already prepared, like your soul has already selected a few people that it wants to pair up with in order to do business, or simply come together in order to progress on their material path, on their path to achieving material abundance, um, so that they can build some very solid foundation in the physical reality, which would help them either develop some skill, or literally develop a business or a project that is directly going to be responsible for their wealth and abundance. Okay, so one of the things, like, okay, so simply to break it down, you have some soul contracts with some people who you would be meeting in this lifetime, with whom you would come together either to sharpen some skill that you have, or to build a business that is eventually going to lead to wealth and abundance. Okay, so it depends on your meeting the right kind of people. Right, I guess we were talking about soul contracts. So I think so yeah, there are two things. One, there's the two things I had mentioned, but the aspect that is revealing itself is that it is not always pleasant. The soul contracts that you have formed, which are going to reveal themselves with time. Some of these soul contracts can be difficult soul contracts, like difficult relationships, where you have, why is this happening? I guess the distractions have something to do with your reading. Maybe it's a message, but yeah. So as I was saying, that some of these soul contracts are difficult relationships, which are going to prepare you to handle your life better, or to handle situations that you would eventually come across in the future. But in the present, it is just going to act like more like a launching pad. As the level of difficulty increases in your personal relationships, what you will go on to experience in the next phases of your life or in the future is going to be somewhat based on the difficulties that you have already experienced at a personal level. Okay, and you would know that when as you go through life. For example, if it was very difficult, like this example I had already given in one of my readings, so it is coming to mind, and it I think fits perfectly. So if you grew up in a very strict environment where you would not be allowed a lot of free time to practice the things that you love to do, what would happen is that, say you get only 30 minutes or an hour of free time, and in that time you try to make a painting or create a piece of art that is very close to your heart, but you are only limiting yourself in a in a particular time frame, because you don't get free time, right? Because the family that you live in is so strict. Right, let me gather my thoughts once. So yeah, say you were allowed only that much free time, and apart from that you were not allowed any time to either do introspection or devote some time to any activity that is close to your heart or you're passionate about. So what that would do is that make you skilled to create paintings or create artwork in a very short span of time, which would then become a skill, a special skill that you have, which is going to be celebrated in the world as something very unique. But you only developed that talent because you were put in a very difficult situation, which was more like an obstacle. So the obstacle that was presented to you acted as your biggest opportunity, or to give you something that eventually you would go on to be known for, but at the time when you were experiencing it you probably had no idea. So something like that. So soul contracts are obviously not always pleasant when they reveal themselves, but since they are important in making you who you are, and in this case we are asking that what is going to help you achieve wealth and abundance. So in that case they can sometimes be very difficult contracts, very difficult relationships, but they are somewhat linked to you finding that pot of gold, maybe not directly, maybe indirectly sometimes. To look at your first card, Nine of Coins with size, whatever you are going to earn money for, it is not going to be something that you enjoy. It could be something that you're passionate about, but the process of it is not going to be smooth. Like, for example, how um, some authors talk about having a writer's block, or struggling with writing, even though they love writing and they would not like to be anything else other than an author, but they still struggle with the process of it and how that art comes through. So it is going to be a painful process of giving birth to your creation, and it is like, although painful, eventually it's going to reap great rewards for you. Like, you are going to be able to sell that book or sell that painting, or earn a lot of money because of the movie you make. So it is going to be worthwhile, whatever you're going to invest your time in, but it is not without a few disappointments where the process of it takes a toll on you. I think it's like channeling. A lot of people who channel, they know that it's a beautiful process, but it is exhausting. It can be exhausting. um, you would okay need you would need to learn a lot about how to keep yourself in the limelight, because you are anyway going to find yourself in the spotlight. So if you're not trained at all, like if you don't know how to keep people interested in you, then you are going to see a lot of ups and downs. So what is going to put you on your highest timeline is to know that one, the process of it is not going to be very smooth, and second, that different circumstances are going to manifest themselves in order to prepare you to um, get comfortable in the position of spotlight and in the position where all eyes are on you. So basically, being the winner. The one thing that comes to my mind is that if you have watched Friends and you remember that one scene, even if you have not watched Friends, I'll just explain the scene for you, where Rachel and Joey attend an award function where Joey is nominated for Days of Our Lives, and Rachel had made Joey practice his graceful loser face in case he loses the award to somebody. But Joey, even though he had practiced well, eventually gets extremely angry because he does not win the award. So something like that, like losing gracefully, and like cultivating patience in a lot of circumstances, which should be, again, it's not only that, but how to reveal yourself to the public, because if you let people know a lot about you, then people would take you very lightly. Like, you are just going to be that one person who, like, you have to be extremely careful with how much you let people know. You cannot become an ordinary household name, in the sense that it's not like you would you have to make yourself extraordinary, even though you would like to be known by ordinary people and you would like to be discussed in ordinary circumstances, yet there should be an extraordinary factor about you that still makes you unreachable for them. That is like the star factor. So you have to be um, skilled at maintaining that star factor, which if you don't know how to do, then you might if you pray for fame, or if you pray that pray for popularity, that one day you just um like come to the forefront of everybody's like reality, and everybody is obsessed with you, you manifest a reality like that, you might not know how to handle it, and you might not know how to keep people interested in you. See, one night of fame, or a month of fame, a week of fame, everybody can handle. But if you have to prolong that thing, and if you want to stay relevant and stay in the spotlight for the long, for a long time, then then the trouble kicks in. And that is what Spirit is saying, that you have to be you have to skillfully develop, and this is something you would be made to develop with the help of spirit guides and everything. This is something you'd be made to develop over time. Again, in Ace of Coins, Knight of Swords cover paired with Servant, you would have a lot of creative inspiration, like creative downloads coming from spirit anyway. But what would be your challenge is to get those ideas manifested in the physical reality. For example, you might have a lot of inspiration for paintings or even novels that you would want to write. So you might know the broad themes of the novels, but getting them on paper or making them manifest in reality is going to be the ultimate trouble. So the manifestation in the physical reality is going to be a difficult thing to do, because I think the creative inspiration that comes to you comes very fast and in abundance, obviously. Like, if you are one day just sitting and thinking about all the novels that you need to write, you might have 5 great ideas, and 5 great ideas are not a joke. Like, if you have 5 great ideas for a bestseller or a novel, not 5 great ideas to put in one bestseller, I'm saying 5 great ideas for 5 different bestsellers, then to write those 5 different bestsellers, it is going to take some time, and chances are that you would even forget about the ideas at some point, and you would just not be able to remember all the creative inspirations that you have had. So that is going to be something that you need to learn to, if you are diligent about it, if you're diligent about remembering all those ideas that you end up think like end up being conscious of, or you just understand those creative sparks as something that you should be more mindful of, and these are just not ordinary or random things that are coming to your mind, but these are actually things which are pregnant with potential, or pregnant with opportunity to launch you into the world in a way that you've never been launched, or nobody has ever been launched. If you understand the potential it has, literally, then I think the chances of you being, you shifting to that highest timeline of wealth and abundance is obviously going to become much easier. So these are the three things that will obviously help you um, shift to the highest timeline of your wealth and abundance. But that being said, you have already made some soul contracts which will anyway help you on the journey. So um, understand that some of the people that you are going to meet in this lifetime that you might not know, so you would not have everything chalked out. You cannot have like a proper plan that, I am going to write that book, or then I'm going to go to this label or this publishing company and they are going to publish my book, and then it is going to be a bestseller. The plan cannot be so, like, you would not be the one designing the plan. There are going to be certain impromptu developments that you are gonna find out as you go along, because you have some soul contracts with people. They're either going to manifest as obstruction, or they are going to manifest as people who will help you progress in your journey in a more direct sense. So some people will create difficulties that anyway go on to help you more in the future, and some people are going to be more of a friend that help you manifest just more easy and pleasant opportunities to have a direct relationship, like a direct path to fame or wealth and abundance, or something like that. But anyway, the soul contracts are going to play a role, and you are like most probably not going to be aware of the people you're going to meet. So leave certain things to chance, because you have to leave a lot to chance here. There will just be people who have already been planted on your like trajectory. uh, 1 second. So there are certain people who you are supposed to meet anyway. Okay, just be open to meeting them. So that was the reading for you, group 1. If you like the reading, let me know in the comments. If you're interested in Bengali readings, then subscribe to my channel Kalpa Kendra Life. And if you're interested in Hindi readings, then consider subscribing to my channel Kalpa Kendra Sahaj. Otherwise, you can also find me on Instagram and Facebook. So if I get to meet like again, spend time with you, that will be great. Otherwise, just take care. Hello, group 2. So if you had selected this diya, which I will focus for you, right, so this is your diya, and why not, it's quite pretty. So welcome to your reading if you had chosen that. And now your cards are card number 53. You have a house fly here. Okay, card number 53, which comes down to 8. Align with your wholeness. You are not your illness, symptoms, or habits. You, the person, are always whole and perfect. And then you have 3 of coins in the reverse, which would be 3 of pentacles in the reverse. And then you have 2 of cups paired with widower. And here I actually thought of taking 2 cards, but sorry, thought of taking 1 card, but 2 cards came together. Same thing happened in the last group, so I'm sensing a pattern here with surprise. Nice. So what will put you on your highest timeline? Recognizing that some of the things, and here 53 comes down to 8, so a lot of transformative changes, because 8 in astrology is 8th house transformation. understanding 8 is also symbolic of yin and yang. So understanding the balance of light and shadow aspects in your being, where you understand that anything that has come to make your life difficult, or anything that is posing as a challenge currently, does not you are listening to, like, the sound that you can hear in the background is that of fireworks, because I'm currently in India, in Kolkata. Like, my city is Kolkata, and here we are celebrating, not in Kolkata, all over India actually, we are celebrating Diwali. But in some cities, this festival is louder than in other cities. So mostly, yeah, all of India, like the whole of India, celebrates Diwali. And they call it different things. Like, for example, here, more than Diwali, what we celebrate this festival as is Kali Puja. So Diwali has different name in different places, but we all have some festival or the other today, and all the festivals usually involve fireworks, because it is the victory of light over darkness. And that is exactly what I was talking about in this reading, where I was saying that, balancing of light and dark aspects. So I think it's related, where my brain, or where spirit is taking this conversation, and what my brain is interpreting this conversation to be indicative of. So first of all, anything that you are experiencing, any challenge that you're experiencing, is here to represent one aspect of your life where you are not conscious of your strength, and it exists to bring a very how do I say, complementary aspect into the light. For example, say, if you are not, it's pretty much the yin yang relationship. If you are not aware of a side of you, say you get angry very easily, and you look at it as your weakness. But what it does not appear as is your passion for taking things seriously, or you being passionate about um, feeling everything intensely. Like, I know it doesn't make sense, but you only get angry because you care that much, or you're that passionate about different things. It just, anger is basically passion coming out as something that you are not in control of, or it is uncontrollable passion directed towards something very destructive. And it has a very destructive goal in mind. And but it's not the same with passion, where passion has probably a more constructive goal in mind, and it is uh, directed towards more constructive efforts or constructive consequences. So that is how one, like, when you experience anger, one side would, like, same feeling would give two different consequences if experienced in two different templates. Like, if you experience it on the negative template, or the shadow template, you would experience it as anger. But if you experience it on the template of light, then you would experience it as passion. So you being extremely sensitive or passionate about some issues, that passionate enough to not be able to let go, passionate enough to suffer because of them. So these are things that would eventually come to light for you, and make you realize that all those things that you've been looking at as your weakness are things that wanted to bring to light certain complementary aspects in your in your personality, in your consciousness. Okay, so the more you align with your wholeness in a way where you aspect both the aspects of your personality as you experiencing yourself, where you're capable of both. You're capable of extreme anger, you're capable of destruction. This is what happens when you become aware and you learn to embrace your shadow aspects, right? Where you become aware of your destructive potential, but it is under your control. Mostly what people think about spiritual people is that they are extremely calm individuals who are always in control of themselves and never, like, hardly ever do they get angry with anybody. But that is not true. People are spiritual people are capable of, and that is exactly what I was going to say when this loud noise happened. They're very much capable of destruction. They're capable of um, you know um, violence, but they choose not to be. So it's like a volcano that is very much in control of its volcanic activities. So you can choose to um, erupt if you have to. You can also choose to go dormant. They often go inactive. In those cases, people think that they'll never, like, such an inactive volcanoes can also um, like start their volcanic activities one day, right? So people can think that you're not capable of volcanic activities or violence or destruction at all, and then one day they just understand that you were all along you were capable of doing all of those things. It is just that you did not show that side of yourself to people. So it's like very much in the Krishna Arjun narrative, like in that dialogue, in that circumstance where Bhagavad Gita is being delivered by Krishna. Arjun was very much capable of the things that we see like unfold in the battle. It's just that he did not want to cause that destruction. The Bhagavad Gita starts with a chapter on Arjun's depression, Arjun's dilemma, and the dilemma leads to depression, where he does not understand why he needs to fight that battle. So Arjun is fully capable. It's just that he does not want to. So your thing may be like that, where you have to understand that all the shadowy aspects of your personality are things that you're capable of. But what you want to um, express, what you want to channel, what you want to show to the world is entirely up to you, and you can choose at any moment to, you can make a conscious decision to be who you want to be. Like every morning, if you just when you're meditating or when you're just connecting with yourself, and you give yourself like a plan, a short order, so to say, where you tell yourself that these are the things that I want you to achieve, and this is who I want you to be today. It's like giving yourself order and just keeping yourself in the line. And does not mean that you're not capable of like, if you choose to stick to the plan that you have set out for yourself, it's not like um, you're not capable of disobeying yourself. You're very much capable of disobeying yourself, and then not taking anything seriously, or just wasting a day. Even though I don't think any day is ever wasted, it's just life happening. So that's what you're very much capable of the opposite of what you choose to do, but you choose to do something else. So it's your choice. And when you understand that you when you understand yourself as the observer, that you are the observer experiencing both the sides, like shadow and light aspects, and it's up to you to align yourself with one of them. Or when you align yourself with your truth, like align with your wholeness, you become aware of all of it. You become aware of everything. So that awareness, where you learn to embrace all sides of you, all sides of yourself, because I don't think you're very accepting of. One of the things that happens is that usually people tend to not be accepting of who they are, because they find it comfortable to think that there are aspects of their personality which are so difficult that they don't want to identify with it. So they end up doing some shadow work where their shadows do not reveal um, like do not reveal their true nature to themselves, and they end up going round and round. So one of the ways in which that happens is that, say a person makes you angry, okay, and you so a person makes you angry, feel irritated, so in order to not make your vibration drop, because a person like that could make your vibration go low, like you might feel very low vibe whenever you're around that person. So in order to avoid that from happening, you not only avoid that person, you also do not look at, you also avoid thinking about the person. So what that robs you of is the opportunity to actually understand what aspect or what about that person made you angry, because whatever the person triggered in you existed in you for them to be able to trigger it. If it didn't exist, then they won't be able to trigger it anyway. So whatever made you angry, whatever made you uncomfortable, if you have awareness of what it was, and then you work on it, and then you consciously decide to step away from that person, that is a very different thing. But to avoid something that you are not even conscious of, so you're unconscious of, and then you're also following a pattern where you are not even recognizing it or not bringing it to the fore of your consciousness, then it's a pattern that, you get rid of that person, and then you are going to manifest someone very similar in your life, where you would feel the same thing, where you'd be like, okay, I got rid of person A was very irritating, thank god person A is not in my life. But if you're not aware of what person A is triggering in you, you would manifest person B who makes you feel exactly or very similar to how person A made you feel, and now you would start wanting to avoid person B as well, not understanding that it's a pattern that is constantly unfolding, constantly repeating itself, because you're not getting it, you're not understanding the hidden message there. So don't be scared of your vibration dropping if you engage with certain aspects of yourself, where literally the shadow aspects of yourself. When you deal with it, you might feel fear, you might feel pain, you might feel anger, a lot of other negative emotions that are looked down upon. But that work is also very necessary when it comes to spiritual growth, right? It's just as necessary as feeling courage, happiness, passion is just as necessary, if not more. So that would put you on your highest timeline, just being accepting of your shadowy aspects and every disease that manifests in your life, understanding the reason for it, understanding your diseases and shadow aspects more, is going to make you is going to bring you closer to manifesting wealth and abundance in some weird way, which also we are going to look at eventually. Three of Pentacles paired with Soldier. A lot of what you are going to get success at, and because the reason why you would get success, or the way to the highest that change that would put you on the highest timeline to achieving wealth and abundance is going alone, is depending on nobody. So a song comes to mind, jodi to ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে একলা চলো রে. It literally means that if nobody is answering your call, then go ahead on your own, okay, don't wait for anybody. So it's something like that. You are probably not going to find a lot of people who, you might have a very difficult journey where because of align with your wholeness, also talks about an aspect where you are not understanding how to deal with your shadow aspects, and you look at them as something that you a chapter that you need to quickly close and not look at, not engage with, because it triggers emotions that have been uh, you know labeled as negative, and who wants to deal with negativity. So you just avoid those aspects of you. And it may be a difficult path that you are walking, and because of that, what happens is that, wait a second. So because of that, you might not find a lot of people who are willing to help you, who are willing to be a partner on your journey. And so what you do instead is just keep proceeding on your own, and spirit is saying that it is absolutely okay if you do that. like nothing to worry about, because you would have a lot of passion in you to do your things. Like look at the soldier. The soldier is trained in order to act on orders, and these orders are coming from within, because you're not looking for anybody's guidance. You're just going ahead on your own. It is probably because in the initial stages, when you are manifesting wealth and abundance, initially what is going to happen is that you will have to walk the road alone for a while, and it would just be your passion, your training, what you have like experienced, not only in this lifetime but over a few lifetimes, taking you forward. Okay, but you would always have a partner, like the desire for a partner, not a partner, but the desire for a partner. You would always have it at the back of your mind, this fantasy that someday somebody is going to appear and be your partner in crime, and they are going to be somebody who helps you every step of the way. You would have fantasy about ideal partnership, be it in business, be it in friendship, be it romantically. You would have that, but chances are that you would not get it. Like you would go a long way with the fantasy, with just the fantasy in your heart, and this belief that someday somebody is going to show up. But you would have a lot of breakups. You'll have to walk a long way without anybody's help, and you would constantly find your partners just leaving you, and you grieving their um, loss, but also constantly finding yourself in a position where you still have where you're still hopeful that you will find someday. You're still hopeful about love, because in your heart you might have the imagination of somebody extremely perfect. It could be a twin flame or soulmate sort of a dynamic, where you have in your heart the imagination of somebody who's just complementary to you, and that person is going to be able to help you, even if not physically, then at least their higher self would be able to help you in spirit. That is obviously seen. But most of what you are going to achieve, even with your partner's love in your heart, it would be something that you experience at a spiritual level mostly, or at the level of fantasy, or at the level of imagination. The journey that you're going to make here, both the cards are saying, which is why it is so important to make peace with the shadow aspects, or embrace your shadow self. Okay, do shadow work, Google shadow work, like listen to YouTube videos, podcasts, if that helps, because you obviously need to embrace all aspects of your being in order to go forward on this journey, because you are walking this journey. The spirit insists that you are going to walk alone for quite for quite a long stretch. Okay, then eventually, hey, you would be rewarded for not waiting for somebody to show up and doing things for you, even though in the heart of hearts, like, you literally prayed for somebody to come into you, to manifest into your life, who would share the burden of soul purpose with you. But you would be rewarded for not patiently just waiting for somebody and doing the thing alone, and you would be surprised to see just how much people celebrate your journey. You would be celebrated for your courage and confidence, and just the ability to go off on your own. Like I said, that যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে একলা চলো রে. So I can see a lot of discussion happening where people are praising you, and then you are telling people that it's not only me, spirit and other forces in the nature were always working in my favor, that you showing to them the role that nature and spirit had in your journey, even Krishna had in your journey, like deities and gods and goddesses had in your journey. But they not being able to understand that, people would look at you as like one a person throwing up, not throwing up, a person putting on one man show for them. Okay, it is literally you that they have seen do everything, and it's literally you that they trust. So even if you are talking about there being background support, they will only consider whatever you're saying because you are saying it. Okay, so literally nobody would see the role of, or nobody would see the support of anybody in your life. Like, it's like even if your parents were very supportive, nobody would have ever seen, or nobody would be there to say that, yeah, I saw group two's parents be very supportive. It's something that you are going to say, it's something that you would draw people's attention to. But people are only going to see you are hardworking, you do all the work, you have made your life a success story, and it's going to be a huge surprise, the kind of like attention, the kind of respect, the kind of obsession that people are going to show towards you, because you literally have King of Wands, who is a very there's a star quality to King of Wands. They are very attractive in the most amazing ways, and you are going to be like, I see you wearing dresses and dressing in a way where, or just normal day to like day-to-day life, or your even your Instagram account, you handle it with elegance and grace, where you just let people know only the much that they are supposed to. There's a lot of you're keeping it minimal, and you're keeping it crisp, interesting, and it is all happening because it's literally a one-man show. You have just, you don't have um you're very much in control of what you let people know, because it seems like the people in your life, whoever are in the background, they're not really coming in the spotlight, like your friends and everything. It's not like you are friends with, like, you're close friends with a lot of famous people who will also have their podcasts or also have their interviews to share their opinion about you. It's just like it's you talking about your parents. I can see that you are a success story in like at a place where not a lot of people around you are equally successful or equally famous. So a lot of what you are going to speak about, people are going to know because you've spoken about them. Nobody else is going to be there to testify or to reveal things about you. You are going to live a private life, and the much that is known about you publicly will come through you, and that is going to, and a training like that will also shift you on your highest timeline. So these things, just understanding these things and understanding that you have to start doing things from where you are, not depend on anybody. I think these are the things that will will literally open portals and doors for you. Group 2. So that was a great reading, I think. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you're interested in Bengali and Hindi readings, then my other channels are Kalpa Kendra Sahaj and Kalpa Kendra Life. You would find descriptions in the like you would find details in the description box. Otherwise, I'll see you in another reading sometime very, very soon. And also, I do personal readings. If you want to get in touch with me for personal readings, then, write to me on my email ID or just get in touch with me on WhatsApp, okay? Anyway, group 2, it was nice spending time with you. We'll meet again. Till then, take care. Hello, group 3. So, just before I started your reading, or I was about to start your reading, I had a very funny discussion. So, I think every time something happens when I'm doing a reading, I tend to take it as a message. So you may be the funnier one in your friends group, or somebody that people generally call funny, or you have that Chandler syndrome, the Matthew Perry syndrome. What Matthew Perry, the character that he had in Friends. Wow, so much is happening as I'm doing your readings. Literally, the person that I was talking to and I was having a funny discussion with, literally walked into the room and started saying something to me, not realizing that I'm actually doing a reading. So yeah, nobody is under the influence of anything. But strange things are happening. I think it's a message about your group. So we'll just look at the cards, but first of all, let me show you your diya. A beautiful diya, excellent choice, group 3. The combination is actually two of my favorite colors coming together, but I don't think blue is my favorite, but green is my favorite. So one of my favorite colors coming together with another color that I don't mind. Yeah, great. It may be your favorite or not, let me know. So the first card that you have, or the tarot card, no, that the oracle card, is card number 59, conscious living. Those healthy changes you have been meaning to make are imperative for you now. And this is also in the theme of green, so heart chakra seems to be quite significant in your reading, right? Hierophant paired with scholar, literally. Oh, this is like hierophant itself, and you have scholar with that. No, so you have a hierophant with that, so it's like a confirmation. You're gonna study a lot, group 3, I can say that. So knight of swords with pleasure seekers. You're gonna study a lot and then change the direction of your career. Two of coins paired with surprise, right? You would find yourself balancing for a while. So I basically gave your reading to you. If like बोलते हैं ना, in Hindi there's a saying that समझदार के लिए इशारा ही काफ़ी है. If you guys are intelligent, then you would have already understood the hint from whatever I said from while seeing these cards. So card number 59, conscious living, is a very unique card for a lot of reasons. One, it talks about you being more mindful of everything that you are doing, like all your lifestyle choices and habits that you may not be consciously doing, but they will come to the forefront of your consciousness because of circumstances, or because universe wants you to be more aware of the way in which you impact the world and interact with the environment. So living very consciously, like absolutely, like if you just look at the two words taken separately, conscious and living, as you live you're becoming more conscious, and this also has to do with you experiencing a spiritual awakening where you become conscious of the phenomena of life in general, which is why it becomes imperative for you to be mindful of all your choices, be mindful of what you put in your body, or the people that you choose to physically interact with, maybe at any level, like it doesn't matter intimate or not, even at a professional level, or people that you surround yourself with, where surround yourselves by, where be it a party, be it the people who the neighbor people in your neighborhood that you're friends with, everything is coming at the fore to be reviewed by your conscious mind, because you understand that your engagements and the way you spend your life on this planet is worth being mindful of, or is worth your consideration, and you are allotting that time of your life to making those choices consciously. Like you would not like to be part of some unconscious pattern, although we are always part of some unconscious pattern or the other. I mean, how much can be controlled by our conscious mind anyway? A lot of it is sorry, a lot of it is mostly unconscious, and then some of it is at a subconscious level, and then we have even lesser things to deal with at a conscious level. So when you choose to live consciously, when conscious living becomes like a major aspect in your life, then a lot of things that people are comfortable in making in just letting their unconscious or subconscious mind be in charge of. Like normally people would not mind that majority of their life is controlled by unconscious mind, and then again a lot of it is controlled by the subconscious mind. They would not mind it, but you, my friend, would want to bring to your consciousness the aspects which you are only aware of at a subconscious level, and then aspects which you are not even conscious of, like whatever your unconscious mind controls. Like even that you would like to bring to the fore of your consciousness, because it's important for you to just know yourself. Like, so you're digging deep with your engagements, not only physically but also spiritually. Why you chose to come together with certain people, what should be the nature of your interactions or your relationship from now on with these people, now that you've decided to live your life in a certain way. How what kind of friends do you want to make, what kind of relationships you'll choose. So all these things are coming up for consideration for you. And this card is also special because, you know, in one of the readings that I did, this card appeared to me to be indicative of Kalki avatar, where Kalki avatar is I'm not sure if it's Kalki or Kolki avatar, but because it's Kali Yug and also it's Koli, like in Bengali it's Koli Yug, Koli Yug, and in Hindi it's Kali Yug. So not sure how people would call it. I'm pretty sure Bengalis would call it Kolki or something. I don't think that Bengalis would call it Kalki, but let's see. I'm not sure how Bengalis would pronounce it. But Vishnu's avatar, which we are waiting for in this yuga, Kali Yuga, is Kalki avatar. And this card reminds me of like some deity coming on a horseback and literally entering our realm or entering our time period in order to cause some major change, some major shift. So it may be you being able to access that timeline as you make, like you being able to access your highest timeline. Because Kalki avatar, what we are waiting for as Hindus, we knew that, you know, Vishnu has said in Gita, yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyam paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritang dharma sanstapanathaya sangbhavami yuge yuge, which basically means that every time um, evil is like the amount of evil in this world exceeds the amount of good, and good people and sages are in control of evil. I'll come in order to um, realign the balance of dharma. Okay, realign the balance between good and evil. I'll come again and again. So Vishnu's avatars are Ram, then Krishna, and then there is Parshuram. So there are different avatars of Vishnu. Kalki avatar, which we are waiting for, is then there's Baman avatar. There's a lot of avatars. Narasimha avatar. So in the Kalki avatar, which is supposed to come in this yuga, it is one of, again, the highest phenomena that we are waiting for to happen in this time period. So me seeing this card and thinking about Vishnu's Kalki avatar is like you coming into your highest, like you shifting to your highest timeline through these changes, and you making these changes because the time for you to shift to your highest timeline has come. So it's kind of related. And then Hierophant and Scholar, I can literally see, because I went into such great detail about this card, I feel, and then I related it to Indian mythology. So I do feel that you are going to be extremely knowledgeable about spirituality, mythology, and different other concepts that usually people do not know. You could be somebody who gets a PhD or gets formal education and high level formal education in whatever subject they choose. But but it's not just formal education, even informally, even when you research at home, even when you get to know things just because you're passionate about them, the degree to which you would be knowledgeable is very very high. The depths of your knowledge would would surprise people. You have surprise here and then scholar here. You literally have an intellectual bent of mind where you are more capable of understanding or deconstructing patterns which others do not become conscious of when they experience it. So one of the things that I can tell you is that when I got a disease, I actually had arthritis. I still have it. So when I got arthritis, at that time I would not be able to understand that I can hold a conversation with spirit guides. So one of the things I asked my, at that time I used to call my conversations with my spirit guide as inner dialogue or intuitive interactions, like and interactions with my intuition. So at a time like that, I had asked my spirit guide, why did you give arthritis to me? What's the point? And spirit guide said that, you see, me giving this disease to somebody else and me giving this disease to you, there's a great difference between the two, and I would always choose to give something to you that I want to make the world conscious of, or make the world knowledgeable about. Because when you get a disease, when somebody else gets a disease, they struggle with it and it's over. They don't really understand the disease much, or they don't do anything about it. But you getting the disease is like you going to the depths of why people get this disease and what the solution to that is. So beneficial, like if I look at it, it's more beneficial to me if you get it than somebody else gets it, because they would not be able to get the message. So I carefully selected this problem for you, so that you can tell the world about the reasons behind it and also the solutions to it. So something like that, where you getting a, like you dealing with a problem, you dealing with something which you find to be very difficult, was carefully chosen by you and also by your spirit guide, because you becoming knowledgeable about it is going to help a lot of people. It's not like a normal person coming across a normal difficulty. Anything that you face, you can take it to an extraordinary level. For example, if you have dealt with poverty, you are capable of coming up with solutions or coming up with literature that is going to then become the benchmark of um, understanding human emotions by, or judging human emotions by, or um, understanding human emotions in a way where you can look at the society by just looking at how you can understand what is going on in the society by just looking at how one author decided to portray family dynamics at a particular time period. So let's say you're writing the story of one family, and in that family, like in that story, you give indications of economy at the time and like social structures and everything. So you do it so beautifully that your work then becomes like an example for people writing literature, or just engaging with literature, where it is shown that how you can delve into complexities through very like things that appear as appear to be seemingly very simple, you but actually have a very complex message to deliver. So something like that, you are capable of doing things with things that you're capable of doing things with things you're capable of doing things with situations, objects, and circumstances that people cannot foresee. I don't think even you can foresee. You're just responding to your innate nature, and your innate nature is to deconstruct the complexities problematic um, in a way that it's like you open a can of worms for people. When you deconstruct something, it's like usually people would not even have an idea that it could have been seen that way. Like I said, that you are an intellectual, and you have probably even heard from people that you were maybe regarded as the nerd and everything, and all these things, your engagement with life in a scholarly way where you try to intellectualize things. That, for example, how a company chooses to rebrand themselves, or just change the look of their products, and change their bottles and everything from time to time by saying something like new and improved body lotion or something like that. It is something that we have always seen, but only you have the ability to engage with it in an intellectual way, where you are able to understand what the brands are trying to do when they do that, like what the brands have in mind when they do that, and how they are trying to control our attention, like you're trying to attract our attention and also control our mind in a specific way, so you can understand the hidden reason behind things. Yeah, right, hidden reason behind things, where things do not always appear as they um, things are not always as how they appear to be. Okay, I hope I said that right. So that is only because of your temperament, which is able to understand and deconstruct complex things, and you are going to be able to do that anyway. And as you do that, it is going to be one of the things which put you on your highest timeline. So your mind, just the way your mind works, it's going to be something that helps you in your journey to manifesting wealth and abundance. And it is something that you are going to see, you're going to find very beneficial when you start this journey, like when you, like, in order to put yourself in the highest timeline as well, uh, you have to take seriously your ability to intellectualize things, to understand things in a complex way, where you understanding complex structure of seemingly simple phenomena. Okay. Understanding consequences of things that seem harmless, understanding hidden reasons, hidden agendas, things like that. Okay. But I also see that whatever your formal education is going to be in, you might move away from that and want to do something which you are very passionate about, which just makes you happy. So you would chase without, like, say you get your education in engineering, and you progress a lot, like say you're a medical student or something, and then you leave that and you go on to um, make movies or design clothes, something creative. You do that because this horse is decorated in a very creative way. So and you do that in a way that looks very rushed to people. Like, for example, a lot of people might look at your choice and just be like, how could you take that decision? So just like that, you took the decision to leave behind everything. All your major and PhD and everything is becoming irrelevant because you are going in another direction completely, choosing your heart's calling, choosing something that makes you happy, not understanding. See, pleasure seekers and scholar, there's a lot of difference. It's like it's somebody who's respected, and people look at the scholar as somebody who has a lot of power in society, or commands respect. But pleasure seekers are literally uh, people who are just interested in, it's more like Charvak philosophy. It's like more interested in um, just getting pleasure from life, whatever makes them happy. It's more utilitarian, like whatever, like it does not even, it's like Mill, there's a difference between Mill and Bentham's utilitarianism. So it's Bentham utilitarianism, where people don't even look at the quality of pleasures, they just look at the quantity of pleasure. It feels like whatever makes them happy, they're doing that in abundance, and people don't respect this decision. Or from the looks of it, I don't think people will respect this decision. But spirit is also saying that this is one of the decisions that is going to put you on your highest timeline. So it's going to be absolutely imperative that you make the switch and you understand that this is imperative in your journey. And when you leave behind your education, it's not like you are leaving behind everything that you have learned, but you are anyway moving away from the conventional structure that you had to stay within because of your education, or your education demanded that you live in a conventional way, whatever conventional way you were supposed to live in. You would break away from that. It's in some cases it could also be breaking away from a marriage where the marriage was weighing heavy on your personality, on your character, on your heart, and you just had to move away from it, and just know it that people are not going to respect it in the beginning. And it's something that will bother you at a, at a mental level and also at an emotional level. But this is very, very necessary for you to unlock that timeline of your highest timeline of wealth and abundance, as the reading is about. Then it's two of coins and surprise. As you balance something, you would try to balance your responsibilities with your passion. I think, like, whatever you're choosing, you would try to balance that with whatever responsibilities that you have. I don't think, see, this person is holding an animal and also holding a baby. So I feel like you would shoulder the responsibility of your family, even though you would be making a switch in your life which would be very apparent. Like it would be in front of everyone to see. Like everybody would know you as something and then just see that you made a switch into something totally different, and it would be for everybody to see and discuss. It would be right in front of their eyes. But what would like what they might not see is the struggle that you put. So that's why it's gonna come as a surprise. That's why it's gonna come as a surprise that you're gonna struggle maintaining the balance between the two, your passion and your family responsibilities. And it is then that it is going to see, somewhat people are going to think of it as something that you are going to struggle with. Like people might look at it and think that you are going to struggle all your life. Like this is something that you will continue to experience. This is a lifetime problem because you've made the switch. You chose a very unconventional and risky career path when you had every opportunity to choose something conventional and boring. Sorry. So you chose something interesting and risky. So people are going to expect you to suffer, but instead of suffering, what would happen is that they would be meeting with surprise. So this surprise card had come in the same position in the last reading as well, but the relevance was different, the message was different. So it's gonna come as a surprise to people. And since we are asking about wealth and abundance, like what would put you on your highest timeline to manifesting it, it would come as a surprise. What they see that you have, the kind of wealth and abundance that you would end up experiencing would be a huge surprise, not only to the people watching your life unfold, but also to you, because you would think that you have to do the balancing, like but eventually you would have to balance a lot more, because it is going to come as a surprise just how much is waiting out there for you to experience and to enjoy. Since a surprise is here shown in a very positive light, and the reading is taking you towards your wealth and abundance, it is something I can understand that you would have manifested your wealth and abundance in this career path where you choose your passion over over the cards that you have been dealt in life. And eventually it's going to shock everybody. Your success story, it's going to come as a shock, because I don't think this unconventional path is something that a lot of people find success in. So success stories are rare, and the success stories like yours would be rarer. Okay. And it would all come through conscious living, being very mindful of the path that you need to, like every step of the way you have to become more aware of who you are and what aligns with you and what doesn't. living every decision very consciously with full awareness. A very spiritual path, if I might say so, because conscious living is not a non-spiritual ordinary card. It's a very spiritual card. Comes down to 14 again. 1 plus 4 is 5. A lot of transformation and change. Okay, so that was your reading, group 3. If it resonated with you, let me know in the comments. If you liked my reading also, then I would like to hear from you. If you're interested in Hindi or Bengali readings, then I have other channels which you can find details of in the description box. Otherwise, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook as well. And for personal readings, private readings, you can contact me on my email ID or my WhatsApp number, the details of which would also be given below. So I'll see you in another reading sometime very, very soon. Till then, take care. Also, happy Diwali if you are listening to me now, and if you're listening to me later, enjoy life, okay? Bye.